We are now up to the second stage in our first activity, adding a hole in the center of the cube and a chamfer and roundover to the edges. To begin this activity, you'll first need to create a circular extrusion on the front side of your cube. To do this, simply click on the extrude tool and select the front face of your cube. We then need to create a circle extrusion on the front face of the cube. Click the circle command and the center circle option. Once selected, move the cursor to the center axis of the cube. Click and drag out a circle of any size. Two dimensions will now be shown, the diameter of the circle and where the center of the circle sits on the y-axis. We change these dimensions by double-clicking on each and setting them to those specified in the activity. To center your circle on the y-axis, double-click on the dimension that dictates how far the center of the circle is from the bottom edge of the cube. Change this to half the height of the cube, or 150 millimeters. Once this action has been completed, click the OK command on the top right-hand side of the screen. A 150 millimeter circle will now be extruded on the face of our cube. We can manipulate this to create a hole through the cube. This can be done in a number of ways. By default, when we change the direction of the circle extrusion, it will remove the material from our cube. We can also complete this action manually by increasing the extrusion to the depth of the cube and opting to remove the material. As highlighted in the extrusion command tools, there is an add or remove material command. By clicking this, we can opt for our extrusion to remove material. Change the depth of the extrusion to the depth of the cube. Click on the Remove Material command and change the direction of the extrusion so the circle is extruded through the cube. Once this action has been completed, click OK or the green arrow to finish extruding a hole through the center of the cube. We are now going to add a 3 mm roundover to the edges of the cube and a 3 mm chamfer to the hole within the cube. To round over the edges of the cube, we first click the roundover tool in the commands bar. We then change the size of the roundover to the specified dimension in the activity, 3 mm. Following this, we simply click each of the edges of the cube to round them over. Remember, to move around the object, we hold in the center wheel of the mouse and rotate the object into the desired view. Once all the edges have been rounded over, click the green arrow to finalize the edge rounds. When we zoom in, we can see each of the edges of the cube have been rounded over. Our final stage in the activity is adding the chamfer to the edges of the hole in our cube. To do this, we first select the chamfer tool in the command menu. Once selected, you will need to define the parameters of the chamfer in the command menu. Click the drop-down option, and for this activity, select D times D. To create a chamfer on the edge of the hole, simply click on the edges of the hole. Once this action has been completed, click the green arrow to finalize the chamfer. Finally, save your model in a clearly labeled folder. This file will then need to be submitted to your teacher for feedback.